Okay folks, this is going to be a bit of a messy piece. I hope it's not too scratchy. I'm going to have to be careful cleaning it up. Don't want to scratch the photocopier too much as I can avoid it. Okay, let's see what this piece is. It's really scratchy. I also got something on the glass there. Piece of something white. Anyway, enough of that. It is, I found this on the street, or the footpath. Sorry, this focusing isn't working very well. I think it's the reflection. It's basically a phone screen, a broken, fucked up phone screen. So we're just going to gently place it on the photocopier. Just hope we don't leave too many shards behind. So we're just going to line this up with the edge like so. Just going to leave it away from the edge a bit. Actually, I'm going to leave the dock feeder open because I don't know. I'm going to leave it open so we don't get too much. Yeah, let's see how go this. Yeah, looks like shit. It doesn't look dark enough to show the pieces of glass that are shards. I was hoping this would look better, but I had a gut feeling it might be a tricky one to work with. So I've just got it on an angle anyway. I'm just going to try and straighten it up. And I'm going to just try and use a different setting. I'm going to use what's known as the dot matrix. If that doesn't work, nothing will. Yeah, looks a bit better, just a fraction, but we've only just got this corner and that corner there and down there. I do think maybe we can enlarge a section out of this. I do wonder which one we're going to work with, so we're going to have to gently remove this and hope we don't have all these shards left behind. So I'm just going to throw this in my e-waste bag. I don't know how they're going to recycle this shit, but I don't believe in putting any kind of e-waste in the refuse or recycle bins. It has to be done properly. E-waste is indeed an extremely dangerous and toxic bunch of chemicals and fucktardery, lots of chemicals and compounds and shit that even I don't know, and strangely enough we seem to have gotten away with it. But I'd rather, when disposing of stuff, I'd rather dispose of it properly. I'll let the recyclers at the depot that do to work out what needs to be done, how it's to be recycled and how not to be. I'm not an expert, and I don't like the feeling of throwing e-waste in the refuse. It really makes me feel bad. I'm always talking against irresponsible disposal of electronic waste. I actually think this looks better. So yeah, I'd rather leave it up to the experts to deal with the shit rather than having me being the one who's thrown the garbage into the crapper because there's no way of recycling it. I'm sorry about the bad camera work. I'm just trying to hold this in place while I was lowering the dock feeder. And that's one thing I'd like to do Monday when I become CEO of a future photocopier company, and I've got it on negative still. What I want to do, and I've got it on two, fuck me dead, done it wrong. But basically I want to become, when I become CEO of a future photocopier company, I want to use electronic waste dumps around the world, like in China and India, as places to get resources. I'm going to stop that. I forgot to switch off negative positive. But basically I really want to make a difference, and I want to use the e-waste dumps of the world, especially in third world countries, to be utilised for resources, because you can get some really good stuff from e-waste, like gold, silver, platinum. I think platinum's one of them. I think there's also a material or metal called palladium, which is extremely valuable as well. And then of course, oh, that looks really good. That looks really nice. And basically you can get all sorts of shit from e-waste. And why waste it, folks? Why let it pollute waterways and crops and all that, when you can actually make use of the raw materials that come from it? And really, it's just so sad when you think so much of this stuff could be reclaimed. And I'd like, in the process, you could help potentially cleaning up dirty waterways and hopefully make crops grow again in those areas. And I really look forward to having the power to do that, and that's too far not in the right position, folks. So I really want to make a difference in the world, and one of the things I want to do as a CEO is to basically make things grow again where they no longer grow, and all the rest of it. I don't want it. And why mine materials that should stay in the ground anyway for future generations, Recycling also reduces the amount of demand on power, and that's good for the planet as well, especially with coal-fired power stations still being utilised in a lot of places. But basically, yeah, we've got to think for the future, folks, and we've got to be resourceful, and we've got to try and break out of this wastefulness is designed for dump. We've got to make equipment last longer as well. Like photocopiers should last at least around 60 years instead of say 5 years for a piece of shit like this. You've got to think of the future, folks. But the people who are currently in power don't think like that. I'm trying to think which one's the better one. But basically they don't think for the future. They think like the resources are going to last forever. They don't seem to have any concept of thinking of the future generations who are going to inherit this. And that's ended up on a fucking floor. I hate it when I do that. So yeah, it's really, we've got to start thinking in a circular motion, recycling and all that, and also just reducing the amount of stuff we use. Even better than recycling. So if we can keep things in service longer rather than throwing them away and then buying a new one every time, I know the companies that build our equipment don't think like that, and they want us and they force us to do it, like Apple. You know, people have often complained about Apple iPhones slowing down when they have updates applied. And really, that's not acceptable. If that's true, that's really wasteful. That makes the hardware useless, and then it ends up being thrown away, and more resources get used. Fuck the notion that Apple is environmentally friendly. That's not environmentally friendly on the most basic level. Tim Cook, the CEO, ought to hang his head in shame for trying to greenwash us. You know, trying to make out all this fucking bullshit, green shit. He's a fucking bullshitter. Stupid man he is. Stupid fucktard. But, you know, what can we do? You know, what can we do to fucking stop this stupidity, you know? We need to fucking... Yeah, and my goal is to build the best copier systems on Earth with the best environmental safeguards in place, and I want to make a lot of money, but the thing is, I'm going to be foregoing a lot of profit to keep my dream of an eco-friendly industry alive. I have to do it, so I have to fucking sacrifice some of the profit that I potentially could make in order to keep these green aspirations happening. And I'm willing to do that, folks. I'm willing to I'm not interested in pure profit. Profit has got to happen only after the important things have been addressed, the environment and the human race. And we also got to make sure that the factories that we create are not sweatshop factories. You know, these photocopiers that I think about are going to be manufactured here in Australia, nowhere else but Australia. Everything is going to be manufactured, right down to the tiniest little plug and socket, wire and resistor. Everything's going to be manufactured here on Australian turf. No fucking made in China, no made in Vietnam. We are not going to fuck up. We are not going to create slave labour like these companies like Apple, with their company called Foxconn, where people have tried suiciding because of all this slavery and low wages and hard work, long working hours. It appears they can't get to sleep enough, and they just go mad and they want to kill themselves. And that's not good enough. We can't do that to our workforce. The workforce has got to be treated with the fucking respect that it deserves, the respect and the human rights. We've got to upload the human rights. We've got to fucking uphold what is good in this world. We've got to fucking make this world a better place, not a worse place, not a place that's a playground for the rich and the famous. It's got to be for everyone. Even the poorest little street beggar deserves better, and they deserve not to be on the street in the first place. So, you know, we've got to fucking think about human rights, think about the future, think about the planet, everything. We've got to think about this shit. Otherwise, what point is there? There's no point even living. Now, I do think this version's better. I like this bit up there. But basically, we've got to fucking think, folks. Think on our fucking feet. We've got to think. We can't just sit there and vegetate and make our world a place that's just about entertainment. Oh, save the world, save the world. It's like it's in the movies. Save the world, save the world. But the world needs saving in real life, folks. Can't we have some people come to the table and actually help make this reality happen instead of fucking watching dumb Hollywood movies? No, what's the point? I know it's escapism. I know we think we can't do it, folks. I know we think it's all over and done with. We might as well just pretend that we can save the world. We might as well just pretend and watch movies and go into our little home cinemas and watch Save the Planet movies. Oh, fuck me dead, but that's not going to happen. You know, you're going to be watching the movie and the fucking and fucking you'll turn on the tap when you go to the toilet and fucking grease comes coming out of your tap. Oh, well, that's probably just an example, folks. It's probably not scientifically grounded either. Sorry, folks, if I've made something sound a bit unscientific, but I'm just using that as a bit of drama. You know, to think, well, what happens if you're in your fucking cocoon and you're watching a fucking Save the Planet movie? You've got to save this fucking planet, folks. This is not the movies anymore, fuck yous. This is not the movies. You know, if you've got money, if you've got power, if you've got prestige, if you've got something that you can do, if you're a powerful person and you've got the money, stop watching your fucking Save the Planet movies and fucking go in there and save the fucking planet. You cunts. Go fuck yourselves if you fucking think it's going to be... You're just going to let roll over and watch a fucking Save the Planet movie instead of actually saving the planet. Actually. We can do it. We can be heroes, folks. We can all be heroes. We can all be Avengers if we just team up and do something. We can all be Avengers, folks. You can all be Avengers. You know, all of us. You know, we don't have to fucking watch the movie. Fuck the movies. This is reality, folks. Just get stuck in and actually save this fucking planet or we'll all die. And then there'll be nothing left. Not even a fucking movie to watch. You won't be able to be alive to watch it. So, yeah, folks. Think about it, folks. Save the planet for real. Fuck the movies. Anyway, that's come up looking better than I thought. I think we can now call this rant over.